drive, love, don't drive too fast.
Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 558th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. This has got the potential to be a really great battle and a really close battle too, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, our first teammate is RTW player Lazy Ant. Now, Lazy Ant's got 2 archers, 11 infantry, and 6 cavalry. Okay, 2 archers, 11 infantry, and 6 cavalry. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, and he's got 7 upgrades, an experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack. Lazy Ant's been playing in a few of our games tonight, and seems to be a really good player. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member JGP. Now, JGP has got the bog standard 31k Roman army of 14 infantry and 6 cavalry, and the reason that's a bog standard 31k Roman army is because it's so effective and so efficient. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Barkleyman, who has got his faction of choice, Carthage. He really loves this faction, and he's got really good with them. And he has got 14 Sacred Band, Spearmen, 3 Slingers, and of course he's got 3 cavalry there. Okay, so as I say, this is Barkleyman's faction of choice, and he is very good with the Carthage faction. Our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who's bought the Greek Cities faction. I've got 14 Spartans and 5 archers. Okay, so there's our team, reasonably diverse. We've got Lazy Ant with Rome, we've got JGP with Rome, Barkleyman with Carthage, and myself with Greek Cities. This should be a great battle for you to watch. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Spearman. Now, Spearman has got 12 infantry, 6 cavalry, and 2 archers. Just look at that old-fashioned, old-school cavalry formation. You don't see that cavalry formation used much these days, but many years ago you used to see that quite a lot. So as I say, that's a very old-school cavalry formation there. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Crypto, who has unusually bought the Macedon faction. Now, Crypto has got 14 royal pikemen, and he has got 5 cavalry. Okay, so it's unusual to see him bring Macedon, but I just want to draw your attention to the length of the pikes of the Macedonian pikemen there. Remember, enemy troops have got to fight their way all the way down those pikes to kill the man on the other end, and that could be quite a tall order. Okay, so those pikemen, watch out for those during the course of the battle. They could well make a difference. Okay, the next teammate is Brotherhood member Demon. Now, Demon has got 13 infantry, 1 archer, and 6 cavalry. Okay. And their last teammate is Brotherhood member Uther. Now, Uther has got 17 infantry and just 2 cavalry. Okay, so he's bought a very infantry-based army here. Just want to show you a couple of things here. Can you see that he's got an eagle unit? Okay, and he's got an infantry general as well. So he's got a lot of morale there going on with his 17 infantry. Okay, with his infantry general and the eagle unit there. As I say, a lot of morale there for his infantry, keep them fighting longer. And just like to show you the 2 cavalry that he's got. Yeah, he's only got 2 cavalry, but let's check out the upgrades on this cavalry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so he's got 9 upgrades. Fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry. 3 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. So that's some serious cavalry there. So there's the enemy team. Do you think either team has got a faction advantage, or do you think it's pretty even? As I say, it's going to be a close battle, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I'll just give you a heads up on the initial battle plan here. Okay, so Barkleyman with his Carthage Sacred Band units would like to take on Crypto's Macedonians. Remember that Carthage have only got short spears, but they seem to punch above their weight when it comes to the long pikemen. Okay, whereas my Greek cities, even though my Spartans have got 2 hit points, don't do very good against the long pikes of Macedon, Seleucid, Pontus, etc. So I'm going to be going for Rome. But as I say, that's the initial plan. Barclayman's Carthage army is going to go for Macedon, and my Greek cities are going to go for Rome. Let's see if we can stick to that plan during the battle. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I'd just like to show you some good teamwork here. Can you see Carthage here facing Macedonian here, but can you see that Lazy Ant has brought 2 units over from the other flank here to put a pilot shield unit in front of Barclayman's Carthage Sacred Band here to stop Uther throwing pilots into the forward units of Barclayman. So that's a great bit of teamwork there by that Lazy Ant, bringing units from the other flank over here just to protect you know, it's a pilot shield unit there. Now if you notice here, can you see I've got, as I say, I've got 5 archers here to target Macedon. But one thing you might have noticed when we looked at the Macedonian army, the Macedonian general Crypto has bought no archers. Okay, now remember that those 120 man units are extremely susceptible to archer damage, so to bring no archer cover, sometimes that can be a bit of a risk, as those 120 man units are, as I say, so susceptible to archer damage. And make no mistake, my archers will be targeting those Macedonians. In fact, it might be a good idea for me to put my archers into close formation, where you know, like if you put archers into close type formation, they have got more impact and do more damage. As I say, I've got my Spartans there in behind my Carthage ally there, ready to engage Rome. As I say here, you can see, there you go, can you see I'm putting my archers into close tight formation now, so that as I say, you get more impact and do more damage with your archers like that. And that's what I'm going to look to do to the Macedonians here, as they've got no archer cover. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with my archers. You can see that our Barclay Carthage ally there, Barclayman's Carthage Sacred Band there, are realigning their formation there to take on the Macedonians. But also you'll see that his slingers there are in close tight formation as well. But as I say, Uther's looking to move his Roman army forward. He would love to throw loads of pilots into our Carthage Sacred Band ally, but as I say, Lazy Ant has brought 2 of his Roman units across from the other flank to act as pilot shield units there, so that's pretty good for him there. As I say, if you look here, you can see I've got all my archers in close tight formation, ready to target the Macedonians as soon as they get into range, and you can see that Barclayman has done the same with his Balearic slingers. So we've got a lot of missiles here to shoot into those Macedonians, bearing in mind they've got no archer cover of their own. Okay, so as I say, there's a general overview of the battle. This is a very early stage of the battle here, and don't forget the plan: Carthage for Macedon and me for Rome if possible. Let's see if we can stick to that plan. It'll be interesting to see. Okay, at this stage of the battle here, you can see a lot of enemy cavalry out here to our left flank. Okay, a lot of Macedonian and Julii cavalry out there ready to charge into our flank when they're ready. Okay, so that's quite a threatening tactical move there, I think, by the enemy team. We must be aware of that. Okay, can you see my Greek cities here are facing the Julii Rome there, which is what our plan was, and our Carthage Sacred Ally, don't forget, the plan is he's going to try and engage Macedon, because the Carthaginians seem to punch above their weight when it comes to the big, long pikemen like the Macedonian Royal Pikemen, as we talked about earlier. You can see here that I've got my archers there in close tight formation, and they will be shooting into the enemy Macedonians there. But also I've got those archers there to target those enemy cavalry if they come into range. Okay, so as I say, at the moment I'm using those archers to shoot into the Macedonians, but I can use them to target those archers necessary. Right, you can see here that Crypto is bringing his Macedonians round to this flank. Now he wants to engage my Spartans, make no mistake about that. He knows the long pikes of his Macedonians will have a big advantage over the short spears of my Spartans. Okay, now you can see him moving forward there. Okay, now I'm just going to talk to you about a tactical move here. Now what I'm about to do, I wouldn't recommend for newer players to Rome Total War to do, okay? As I say, can you see the Macedonians have got their pikes up? And what I want to do, if those pikes get closer, you can see all those Julii infantry ready to throw their pilots into us, and you can see all those enemy cavalry going to charge into us here. That's why I've got my archers there ready to neutralise those, or I can target Macedonians here. Okay, but here you can see that you've got JGP kind of taking the brunt of the Julii attack there with our Carthage ally behind. And over on the other flank, as I say, you got Lazy Ant there, facing, I think it's Spearman there. He's got his cavalry locked and loaded over on that flank. Okay, so there's a general overview there. You can see a Julii cavalry locked and loaded, ready to charge in. And as I say, don't forget those cavalry on the left flank charging in, could charge in there as well. Okay, but I'm just going to talk a little bit about tactics here in a second here. Now you can see my Greek cities facing the Macedonians. Okay, now as I say, I'm not too keen on fighting the Macedonians with my Spartans because the long pikes are making advantage. Okay, so this is a tactical thing that I'm going to tell you about here. Can you see that I'm moving my Spartans back to encourage the Macedonians to move forward? Okay, so what I would like to do is kind of run forward and hit the Macedonians before they can put their pikes down. That's why I've moved back. I want to encourage him to run forward. I want him to run closer to me with those long pikes there. If you look at the difference between my short spears of my Spartans and the long pikes of the Macedonians, you can see the massive advantage that they've got there. But if I can charge into them before they put their pikes down and kind of go under the pikes and actually get to those Macedonians before they can put their pikes down, that is a great tactical move. As I say, newer players to Rome Total War, if you do that, you can get a big advantage there, but it's the timing. And I'm a little bit slow with my reactions now, but you can see that as he's running forward now, what I should do now is charge with my Spartans, hit him before he gets his pikes down. Can you see what I mean? Let's pause the game for a second here. So he's run forward as I wanted him to with the pikes up. Okay, so what I should do now, if I was a bit quicker with my reactions, is charge my Spartans in there to get under those pikes before he can put his pikes down. Do you see what I mean? So before he gets those pikes down, I'd have to fight all the way down to kill the man on the other end. If I can just charge before he gets those pikes down, then that would give me an advantage. Now I should really hit him now. I'm a bit slow, see? I should have gone in. I'm charging in now, but he's not completely settled yet with his pikes, but he's got most of his pikes down. But could you see the strategy that I was trying to do there? If I'd have been a bit quicker, I could have got under those pikes before he put them down. But I was a bit slower there. But I just thought that was a good tactical move to show you there. It's an old tactic. You don't see it used that much these days, but it is a very effective tactic there. So here now is what I've got here. I am now attacking the Macedonians, which I didn't really want to do. But now I'm engaged with them, that's what I'm going to do. I'm targeting the Macedonians with my archers as well, but I'm very aware of that enemy cavalry out there, the threat of that enemy cavalry ready to charge into us at any time. Okay, and once again, just like to draw your attention, Lazy Ant has brought some reinforcements over here. As I say, I'm really going to push into those Macedonians here, and as I say, I'm shooting arrows into them from my archers. Okay, over here on the right flank, you can see that Lazy Ant is facing Spearman here. Some of JGP's units are starting to rout under the pressure of the enemy Julii infantry. Okay, now I know that Barclayman didn't fancy facing the Romans there because of course he would suffer a lot of damage from pillars, but as I say, he's using some of his units there to engage some of the Macedonians there. But as I say, I'm trying to push forward with my Spartans now into those Macedonians. Meanwhile, at the back here, can you see the enemy Julii and enemy Macedonian cavalry have got Barclayman's carrier, and bang, as that Julii cavalry smashes in there. Okay, I think they realised that Barclayman had his cavalry hiding in the long grass there, and they sent those cavalry units over to get him. Now, can you see here Barclayman taking that cavalry unit round there? He may well smash into the back of that Macedonian general there. He could well do that. But here you can see there could be an absolute make or break pivotal part of the battle just about coming up here. Right. Let's just pause the game for a second. So yes, Barclayman charged into the rear of the Macedonian general with that unit there as I'm pushing forward into the Macedonians. I am making inroads into those big 120 man units there. As you can see, my Spartans are making ground in there. But as I say, it's not ideal here. Look at the length of those Macedonian pikes against the short spears of my Spartans. So it's not ideal here, but Barclayman's got some of his Sacred Band units there, and Lazy Ant has brought some SPQR units over from the other flank to help as well. Great teamwork there, and I'm just pushing into those Macedonians as hard as I can. Obviously, I'd like to try and take the Macedonian general out if I could, take the morale away from Macedonians, as their morale is not very good anyway. As I say, look at Uther's 17 infantry there, all laden with pillars that he's using some units over there as well. And as I say, Lazy Ant has moved the units round here to protect our right flank from Spearman's Julii infantry and cavalry. Okay, but there's a pivotal part of the battle that is about to start here which could really decide the outcome. Okay, and if you notice here, there's a lot of our cavalry and a lot of enemy cavalry here, and I think, as I say, this could be the make or break of the battle. And bang, as those cavalry charge into each other, you can see JGP's cavalry join into the fray. Bang, as he smashes into the enemy Julii cavalry. So remember, we are SBQ, cavalry. The enemy are the red Julii and the Macedonian companion cavalry. Lazy Ants bringing some infantry into the fray as well. You might see Uther's 2 Julii units. Remember those 2 fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry there, ready to charge in. And there you can see those 2 units going in there. Bang, as they smashed in there. Remember, fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry. Right, let's just pause the game for a second here. So, remember, the enemy are the Julii and the Macedonians, and we are the purple SBQR. Now, this could make the difference. Can you see Spearman's brought his cavalry around the other flank? And of course, if he smashes into the rear of our fighting allies there's a good chance that the whole of our cavalry will be completely routed. Okay, you can see here, I'm really smashing forward into the Macedonians there. I've routed the Macedonian general plus some other Macedonian units as well. So I'm pleased with the way my Greek cities are performing there, and I'm going to try and roll up the Julii infantry there, but there are some Macedonian units coming in behind me, which I may well be better to turn and face them rather than try and take on the Julii infantry at the moment. You can see a Barclayman's Sacred Band units there holding up the enemy Julii, plus you've got a couple of units of JGP's SBQR units at the front. And you've got them on the flank here. As I say, you've got Lazy Ants, SBQR units there facing the enemy Julii on the right flank there. Okay, so there's a general overview of the battle at the moment, but what we're seeing here could prove pivotal and decisive to the outcome of the battle here. As I say, if Spearman smashes into the rear of our engaged SBQR cavalry, then that could be it for our cavalry, and the enemy will then have even more cavalry advantage. Remember, with me taking Greek cities, I put my team in a cavalry disadvantage right from the beginning. I'm trying to make up with that for being aggressive with my infantry here, but here comes Spearman's cavalry going to smash into the rear of our engaged allies cavalry, and here it comes, and bang, as it smashes in there. You can see our allies saw that Spearman's cavalry coming, and they've turned some of their cavalry to face a threat. Okay, but you can see our SBQR cavalry are now being sandwiched between the enemy cavalry there. We're bringing in more infantry here, trying to bring more infantry in to help our cavalry. But look at that situation here, and as you can see, this could prove pivotal. If the enemy rout our cavalry, they will have even more cavalry dominance and get in behind us, smash into the rear of our engaged infantry. Okay, I think that's my Spartan general has just been taken out, so that's bad news for me and bad news for the team here. But as I say, this is a massive cavalry battle there, and our allies have thrown some infantry units into that cavalry battle as well. As I say here, my Spartans here, I turned and faced those Macedonian units that were behind me, and I've routed them, and I'm now attacking the enemy Julii infantry here. But here at the rear of our battle line here, Barclayman's got a couple of his Sacred Band spearmen here engaging the enemy cavalry. Nice move by him. Plus we've got, I think we've got Lazy Ants general there as well, so he's giving morale. As you can see, both Carthage and SBQ generals are there giving morale to our troops, and we've routed a heck of a lot of that Julii cavalry that was in behind us, but they've pulled back now, ready to engage us at a later date. But as I say, that was a massive cavalry battle there, and that could have proved pivotal and decisive to the outcome of the battle, possibly there. Okay, as I say, with my Spartans here, I'm going to look to smash into the flank of those engaged Julii troops. But remember, look, the enemy red Julii troops are the enemy. Look at the numbers that they've got there. So, and look at our infantry numbers in comparison to those enemy Julii troops there. A heck of a lot of them, and a lot of them haven't even been engaged yet. They'll be fresh, possibly even got pilots to throw into us as well. So as I say, there is a general overview of the battle as it stands at the moment. Spearmen could well charge in. As I say, a Barclayman's Sacred Band infantry is doing well. They're holding as long as they can there, doing really well. As I say, he's got his general over there engaging enemy cavalry units. You can see there's still a bit of a cavalry battle going on here between our SBQ allies and the enemy Julii cavalry there. and it looks like, from what I can see there, we may well be having the better of this. But make no mistake, both armies' cavalry have been battle depleted heavily there. Right, you can see I've got Julii units pushing in on my Greek cities there. Plus I got Macedonian units as well, so I'm going to try and take out these guys that are around me before I move on to the main Julii infantry and try and hit them in the flank if I can. But as I say, now this is a good move by enemy troops. Newer players to Rome Total War, look at this for a really great move. Can you see here that Uther and Demon have got Julii units? They've put through that gap there, and they're now in behind our allies' troops there. They are now behind our engaged allies' troops. And this is a nice move here. Why do you attack a barricaded front door where if you nip round the back you might find the back door open, if you know what I mean? Okay, so that's a really good tactical move. Holding and pinning our forward units there while they get infantry in behind our engaged troops. So as you can see there, remember the enemy are the Julii here. Okay, and Carthage and SPQR are us. And of course my Greek cities there. But you can see here several of our SPQRs. Okay, that's bad news for us. You can see that Demon, our allies' general, has just been routed there. Okay, so that's a morale bonus we've lost now, and with all this enemy Julii infantry and some cavalry units coming in behind our engaged allies there, I think that things are not looking very good. You've got Uther's general and Eagle unit there giving morale to the Julii troops. As I say, if you look at the general overview of the battle here, just look at the numbers of the enemy Julii infantry there. Okay, you can see Barclayman taking some of his Sacred Band units over there, including his general. But as I say, you can see here that the enemy troops have got in behind us now as are attacking our engaged enemy troops there, our allies' troops there. And you can see there, just at a glance, look at the numbers game here of those Julii troops. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I've upped spears here, and I'm going to run forward now to try and engage the flank of those enemy Julii troops if I can. But make no mistake, my Spartans are extremely battle depleted, very, very battle damaged here. So how well they'll be able to help, I don't know, but I'm going to charge them in anyway, just to see what damage I can do there. But make no mistake, they are extremely battle depleted. You got Lazy Ant, still got some cavalry units left, very battle depleted cavalry units, but used correctly they can still be quite powerful. Uther's Eagle units just been routed, so that's good news for us, taking morale away from their troops. You can see my Spartans slowly moving in to those enemy Julii infantry, into the flank of them there. Okay, I'm just going to pause again for a second here. Okay, so I've still got most of the bulk of my archers left. They are battle damaged, but I'm going to try and take them into a more advantageous position, preferably in behind the enemy troops here. I don't want to shoot arrows over my allies' troops here, because some of my arrows will drop low and hit the rear of my allies' fighting troops. So what I prefer to do is take my archers round behind the enemy troops there to shoot directly into them without trying to shoot over the heads of my allies, as I say, which I could cause casualties to with friendly fire. But look at those Julii troops pushing into our troops there. As I say, this is going to be an extremely close battle there, and as I say, I'm pushing forward with my Greek cities here into the enemy Julii troops. But as I say, make no mistake, my troops have been extremely battle depleted. As I say, I'm forcing my way into those Julii troops. You can see that Barclayman's moving his troops forward as well. Right, can you see both Uther's general and Demon's general are now behind my Spartans, looking to charge into the rear of my Spartans. Now, if they do that, they will then expose the rear of their two general units to my archer fire, which I will shoot fire arrows into the rear of them, hoping to take out their general, if I can. Okay, so as I say, you can see Demon and Uther's general are in behind my Greek cities here. I'm moving forward into that Julii infantry, and there you can see the two general units there looking to attack the rear of my Spartans. So they are now showing the rear of those general units to my archers, and I'm going to shoot fire arrows into them. Make no mistake about that. Okay, so you can see, as I say, Uther and Demon's general here looking to attack the rear of our troops. But by doing that, they're then exposing those units' most weakest point, the rear, obviously, to my fire arrows, which I'm going to shoot into them here. Remember, my archers are in close, tight formation for more impact and more damage. and I should be shooting loads of fire arrows into that. Remember, fire arrows don't just cause casualties, they sap morale from units as well. And if you notice here, I've turned my Spartans now to face those 2 general units. Of course, what I'd like to do is take out those 2 general units, or enemy general units there, to take away the morale from the enemy troops. And here you can see, as I say, the fire arrows of my archers going into the rear of those generals there, as I turn my Spartans to face the threat from those 2 generals there. Okay, so let's just pause the game for a second here. So as I say, I'd like to take out Demon and Uther's general, as I said before, to take the morale bonus away from the enemy team. Let's say a Lazy Ant with his SBQR infantry and those battle damaged cavalry has been doing extremely well over on the other flank, and Barclayman has been holding well in the centre as well. I think at this stage most, if not all, of JGP's army has been taken out. There you go, that's good news for us. We have now routed, I think it's Demon's general, and we've killed him as well, so that's taken away the morale bonus here. Now I'd just like to show you a nice little move here by Lazy Ant. Notice he moved his cavalry round from the other flank. Remember, he was over there. He's moved his cavalry round on a surgical hit into Uther's general. Sandwich attack here, hammer and anvil. My spearmen here and Lazy Ant's cavalry smashing in to Uther's general. Now you can see Uther's general here. Can you see him fighting there? Almost engulfed there. You can see that SBQR unit glow. Remember, when a unit does well, gets a lot of kills on RTW, it glows. You can see that Julio unit just glowed as well. Both of those units have just got battlefield promotions. They've both got a stripe each. And look at Uther's general here. He's still fighting. As I say, he's got those SBQR troops fighting him, and he's got my Spartans there as well. And he's still alive, still fighting there. Brave Julio general. As I say, you can see that SBQR cavalry just charging it, but I don't think he's dead. I think he's just been knocked over. There you go, he stood back up. You just knocked over by the SBQR cavalry, but he's going to be there. He's just been kind of inundated there by SBQR cavalry, and I think he is now dead. So he fought well there, I thought. But as I say, you can see my Spartans moving in there. Our Carthage allies general's just been killed. But you can see Barclayman moving his Carthage Sacred Band in there, and of course Lazy Ant moving those SBQR troops into the Julio troops as well. And it looks like we may well, it looks like our team has managed to go on to win the battle there. But I say, very close there. You can see Barclayman's got 6 men in that unit, 22 men in that unit, and I think just, 4 men in that unit. Look at my Spartans. What's that? 5. There are 5 men in that unit. 5 men in that unit. 5 men in that unit as well. And there's 17 in that one. You can see, just look at the numbers left in my units. 5 men in that one. You can just see, you know, how battle depleted and how much this was a real battle of attrition here. And that's all my troops left. Luckily, I've still got my archers left as well, shooting into the enemy. But you can see this is a real battle of attrition there. And as I say, I think all of JGP's SBQR army has been taken out. So all the SBQR troops you can see left are just Lazy Ants there. So, as I say, our team has managed to go on to win the battle there. But what troops we have got left will be extremely battle depleted. And let's move all the way over here. This was that massive cavalry battle at the rear of our army there. You could see there that just looking at the piles of dead. Luckily, we managed to throw some infantry units in there to help our cavalry, as our cavalry were outnumbered by enemy cavalry there. So we did quite well there. And as you move up the battlefield here, just look at the intensity of the fighting here. You can always tell the most intensive parts of the battle there by the number of dead that you can see piled on top of each other. And if you just look at all these dead troops here, just bears testament to how much of a real battle of attrition this was. They say my Spartans that are left, very battle depleted. In fact, every unit left on the battlefield here has been extremely battle depleted. And as I say, we were just had a bit of luck there, I think, to manage to go on to win the battle. Okay, the first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game there. Really well played, guys. Absolutely great battle. And as you can see, as we thought, it would be a close victory. Highest kills of the game goes to my Spartan army there, 1,867. So not bad there, just scraping the most kills. But I'd like to say really well played to Brotherhood member Spearman. Really good kills there. Well done to Spearman. Great movement as well. Well done to Brotherhood member Crypto. Possibly didn't get the kills that he wanted to, but well done for bringing Macedon. Did well with them. Well done to Demon. Got some good kills there as well. And well done to Uther. Really good kills there. So all of you got some really good kills there, guys. Really well played. Great battle there. Well done to Brotherhood member Barkley Man. Did really well with his Carthage faction of choice. Well done to JGP, did extremely well, and well done to RTW player Lazy Ant. Got some really good kills there and held that right flank extremely well there. So I just thought this was an interesting close battle. It was only fought last night, so it's a very new battle, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please give us a thumbs up and please leave a comment. Bye for now.